that's the reason that I decided that I have to continue. Because
Right.
if I'm not talking to someone,
Hello.
hello,
Good morning,
morning.
Raj, and welcome back. It's so nice to have you back. I'm so pleased to see you here again. Yeah,
How have you been?
I have been good. Thank you so much for asking. I have been bored, actually. Ever since you left Clapingo, nothing is so exciting here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you always have the tendency of going off topic also, and yeah, getting into different aspects of communication. So that was really thrilling with you. However, these days on Clapping, we are mostly sticking to the session notes, right?
okay.
Yeah, that's
So
what people
we do
prefer.
not have any session notes.
Yes, yes, your
That's
topic
good.
for today is 404. And how have you been?
We can
Yeah.
have a topic 420.
Yes. So, Raj, tell me, how have you been, and when did you join back?
I started around second week of October. I was
Yeah.
keen to have a session with you on 16th of October, but I couldn't. I could manage a session only after almost 3 weeks.
Yes.
Anyway,
Anyway, I was on leave on the 16th of October.
okay. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
any one day ahead or one day before, or maybe
okay.
2 days before, I could have managed, but I couldn't.
Right. Ah, very good, very good. I really love the way that you're speaking right now. You seem to be more
Okay,
fluent. Yes, the
okay,
fluency has improved considerably, I would say, right? And I would say dramatically. The use of fillers is not there at all. Sometimes you're using some fillers. And yes, Raj, one thing we must keep in mind that every song has its own melody,
right,
right? Exactly the same way, every language has its own melody.
right,
Okay? If you try to sing a song with a different melody, people will not recognize the song as a song,
absolutely,
right? That is exactly what happens with the language as well, right?
right,
So, as far as the accent and the pronunciation is concerned, when we talk about accent, right? When we are talking about accent, the moment someone says accent, we think of either the British accent or the American accent.
right,
These are the two major accents that come into our mind, right? And we start thinking, okay, I need to learn the British accent. And these days, yes, of course, people want to learn the American accent, right?
right,
They want to learn all those things. However, there is also something known as neutralization of accent,
right,
right? For a global accent, or we call it a neutral accent.
right,
It is neither British, it is neither American, right? It is neither Indian or anything. It is just a neutral accent where the words are pronounced exactly the way they are supposed to be pronounced in English,
right,
right? For this, I'm giving you a tip here, okay? There are a few areas where we as Indians, right, we tend to mix up, right? These few
yeah,
areas that we mix up are areas that coincide with Hindi.
right,
Do you understand? The For example, the pronunciation of certain letters and certain sounds, right? It coincides with certain letters and certain sounds of the Hindi language, right?
right,
So we drag the Hindi pronunciation into the English pronunciation,
exactly,
right? So if
yeah,
you want to work on your accent, I would not say working on a British accent or an American accent. I would say rather work on neutralization of your accent,
right,
right? The most common areas where we as Indians we tend to coincide with the English language is the most common one is the sound of T, the T sound,
All right.
right? We relate that to the T sound
Yeah.
in Hindi, okay? The D sound, we relate that to the D sound in Hindi,
Right.
right? Now, and then after that, the R sound, right? We relate that to the R sound in Hindi.
And even F. So
Yes,
we
the
try
F
to pronounce
sound,
it in Hindi.
the P sound in Hindi,
Right.
right? There are many such sounds. The TH sound, right? The th sound, right? We tend to pronounce it as the th sound in
Right.
Hindi, right? Okay, that's where the mistake comes.
Yes.
When you went for the interview, they said that you need to work on your pronunciation. The
Right.
reason they said that you need to work on your pronunciation is because your pronunciation is not neutralized.
Right.
Your pronunciation is not bad. I would not say that your pronunciation is bad. Your pronunciation is not neutralized,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Right. So you need to neutralize your pronunciation. Look into these aspects because these are the pronunciations that generally people look at when they are judging someone, right, to be a tutor or not. Another one is the K sound, right? The K sound. We confuse it with
Yeah.
the K sound.
Right.
So instead of cake, we'll say cake. Do you get the
Right.
difference?
Yeah.
One is cake, right? And one is
K and
cake.
cake, or
That's a
even
very big
car.
difference.
Car.
Yes, a car,
Car.
right? And a car.
Right.
We get the R also there and we get the K also there, right?
Right.
Another is the P sound, right? Where we pronounce it as the P sound, right?
Yeah.
So many a times instead of saying tap, right, we say tap, right?
Yes.
So there's a T and a P, tap. Right, so we need to you will need to work on that, on those aspects. So we've narrowed it down to these things. The vowel sounds, they're absolutely okay, you're pronouncing the vowel sounds correctly, and the sir and sure also sometimes you make a mistake with that, not always, but I noticed today that you did not make a mistake with the sir and sure sound. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So concentrate on these sounds, right? That I have told you, you will get them in the recording so you can see them again, right?
Yeah.
Which sounds I was talking about, and neutralize these sounds, and your pronunciation will become much better.
Of course. And this is
Okay,
the reason that I decided that I have to continue. Because
right.
if I'm not talking to someone,
Mhm.
uh, I would be thinking or evaluating myself. So
Right.
sometimes it is overwhelming that we are not
Absolutely.
able to think. Sometimes I start even thinking that whether I deserve this or not.
Uh-huh.
So I do not want to reach up to that level.
Mhm.
I have to continue this journey, and of course, some sooner, if not sooner, then later, I would
Right.
definitely reach my niche.
Right, right. You're absolutely right. Another sound that I just realized, right? The THE sound, right? That
The
we pronounce as the sound. The. We are very
right,
hard on it. The. For example, weather, right, is pronounced
weather,
as yes, and
weather,
we
weather,
pronounce it as weather,
weather. Right.
right? With the R also at the back, the R sound also, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
these a very simple word like weather, right? A weather and weather.
Weather and weather. Of course, there
You
is
see
a big
that?
difference between both,
Big
but
difference, right?
we do not make that difference while speaking.
Yes, absolutely. So you will be needing to work on those things, right?
Yeah. Sure.
For your pronunciation, you don't need to work on anything else besides these. Uh, I would say Indianized forms of pronunciation. Don't go in for the UK accent or the American accent, right?
Right.
Okay, neutral accent would suit you the best. I'll tell you why I'm saying this, because I've experienced this personally. This is the way I speak, right? I speak generally with a neutral accent. So
Right.
when I was working, I was working for an American company, right? So I was actually working for um, Microsoft, right? So I had an interaction with all Americans. So when my trainer, he saw the way I speak, right? So he said, you don't need to change your accent. He said it's very
Yeah.
understandable and it's very good. So he said, don't change your accent. Don't put on an American accent. Be natural. Your accent is neutral. So that's what he
Okay.
told me,
Yeah.
right? So that's why I say neutral accent works with everyone.
Of course. And sometimes whenever I feel like this, I try to think that why do I love this language? And
Right.
the love for this language has started because of Ravi Shastri and Harsha Bhog. Because
Oh,
the more I have listened to them, I used to think that I have to speak like them. So even they do not have any accent. They have neither
neutral.
Indian nor the British or anyone. It is neutral, of course.
Absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head. Ravi Shastri and Harsha Bhogle, they speak a typical neutral accent. It's
Right.
neither British, it is neither American, and they speak beautifully, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Ah, very good, very good. So that is the accent and that is the pronunciation. That should be your aim now.
Yeah,
That
sure.
kind of pronunciation. Okay. And also anything else that you would like to ask, anything that you have in mind, or if you would like to relate something to me or tell me something, I would be more than happy to help and hear.
I do not have anything in particular.
Mhm.
And the way the last session went by, you had also said in that session that I have improved so much that the status of learner is way back.
Right.
But if I have to stick with it, it's not a big deal. So till the time
Right.
I touch that on the level of pronunciation,
Mhm.
I don't mind continuing it.
Right, right. See, I'll tell you one more thing. The level of learning is always there. You can always
Yeah, of
learn
course.
something new,
Yeah,
right? You can never grow out of learning. And now I don't need to learn anything, right?
of course.
So that
Yeah,
will always be there. But you have certainly reached that level where you can teach,
of
where you
course.
can help.
And like I told you, my personal experience with the
Mhm.
one student who has stayed
Right,
with me. So
right.
if he has improved this much, it certainly gives me the confidence that anyone else can also improve up to that
Absolutely.
level if
Right.
they stay with me.